I'm number 27's mom, First Lieutenant Noah Harris. My name's Lucy, but his name is the one that's really important. He was killed in Iraq in 2005. We say that he met his destiny because he had such a wonderful life. He was raised here. This is where his father gave him to God, basically, and we live way out in the middle of nowhere. He was born in the house, and he grew up a real nature boy and a real Elegian, an athlete. Everybody around here knows him. He was state champion wrestler, and after 9/11, he was at the University of Georgia where he was a cheerleader because he was a little bit too short to play college ball, even though he really wanted to. And on a fluke, he went and tried out for the cheerleading team, made the varsity, and so he cheered for his whole career while he was there. And then when he was a junior, 9/11 happened. He had never thought about the military at all. And we stayed on the phone with him and talked with him that day. As I was in the classroom, I taught at the high school here with my students, and we all were very moved, as you can imagine. I know everybody has their 9/11 story, but what happened with Noah was he walked right across the campus at UGA, and he started banging on the door of the ROTC building, and they told him he could not get in because he was just too far along in his career, and he kept talking to him and going back. And then one day he said, okay, what is it going to take to let me get in? And they said, well, you'd have to maybe intern in Washington, D.C., or be the scholar athlete of the state of Georgia. And he went, give me that application right now, because he was the 1999 scholar athlete of the state of Georgia. And he was getting ready to go intern in Washington with Nathan Deal, who is now the governor of Georgia. So they let him in, and from then on, his whole life just completely turned around. He had a wonderful life up to that point. I mean, just had a great time being the child of a teacher in a small community where people have wonderful values and love family, go to church, eat a lot of food together, have an outdoor experience together. But when he got into ROTC, it was like his destiny really began to unfold. And the pace picked up really fast. And it wasn't long before he graduated. And then just sort of through a fluke, he ended up being the youngest lieutenant to prepare a squadron to go to Iraq. And the next thing we knew, he was in Iraq, and he just had a wonderful experience there. He was teaching his philosophy, which is, I do what I can. We call it IDWIC. And he was teaching that to his young men because he knew that they were going to need skills when they came back. And he got to come home for R&R on Mother's Day, and we had the most wonderful time. He ran around and told everybody how wonderful America is and how proud we should all be about what we were doing there and how they were reaching out to the people in Iraq. He talked about specific people that he knew, about the women. He didn't tell us how dangerous it was. He kind of lied to his mother and said, it's kind of a little boring, we just work out a lot and that kind of stuff. And at the end of his 2 weeks, he went back, and it wasn't long before he went out on an amazing mission, and they accomplished so much, but they got in a big firefight on the way back, and he was killed. His Humvee was hit by an IED, one of those huge shaped charge IED, plus they were in a big old firefight. The guy who was driving him, his name's Johnny Chernowski, and Johnny suffered a whole lot, but he's now married, has 3 children. I want to tell everybody he is still the funniest person you ever met and loves Noah and just is doing a lot of great work. Continue to pray for him. He's a wonderful guy. And we always tell this story like he could have gone home that night because they finished their mission. But somebody got in trouble down the road, and Noah decided, and so did the command, they were all in it together, that they would go and do what they could to rescue some Iraqi police who were pinned down and taking a lot of fire. So we call it, he turned right. He could have gone left and gone home, but he turned right. And for that reason and a whole lot of others, I think that a lot of people in LJ really respect him, and he was a great athlete when he was here and just a good guy, loved school, loved his parents, loved the community, you know, and he's now with us. We call him the Rainbow Warrior, and every now and then we'll have a big Facebook explosion because a rainbow will appear in the sky to one of his friends, and they will post that rainbow. And then we all start talking again, and we remember that the promise is always there. And we have a wonderful life if we'll just grasp it, stand up for it, and do everything that we can every day. And this alumni football game, I looked into the eyes of all of the players as they ran onto the field, and the cheerleaders too. They are so excited, and they're all really great folks. They're not going to carry it too far, but they're going to push themselves to the limit that they can. That's I do what I can. You do what you can every day. Noah used to say that when people would compliment him. He'd say, I do what I can. We all do that, and ask that before you go to sleep at night. Ask, have I done what I can today? And everything will be just great, just like tonight. It's going to be an awesome game. Go Bobcats! It's an awesome thing to be the mother of an American hero. You know, someone who is willing to lay his life down for us. It really doesn't get any more intense or more beautiful than that. We all know that, right?
Absolutely. Lucy, how do you feel standing on this field tonight?
Well, I'm really, really excited. I didn't realize until I got down on the field and I saw some of the cheerleaders, because I taught at Gilmer High School. I'm retired now. But they were like, Miss Harris, can you believe we're here? And we just have been shaking our pom-poms, and I've had so many, each one of the guys came by me, and I just happened to be standing in the right place, and they were all hugging me, and I'm hugging them because they're so wonderful, and I taught a whole bunch of them. They are really excited, just like me.
What do you think football does for a community?
Well, I'm definitely committed to athletics. I really believe that all of our children need to have a body, heart, mind, and spirit experience. And athletics, the coaches in this community, you really need to be interviewing them. The wrestling coaches, the football coaches, the basketball coaches, the music coaches, they are amazing people who take what they do very seriously, and they help bring out the best in young people, not by telling them you're great, but by challenging them to be the best they can be. And there's no better place than this wonderful small town athletic experience. I feel so privileged to have been a part of it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What do you think is out there on that field tonight?
What do I think is up?
Yeah. What's waiting for these guys when they step foot on that field?
Oh, they are gonna have so much fun. I know they're really excited. I've been on Facebook with them throughout this whole process. Somebody contacted me several months ago when it all started. So I've been listening to the practice, the building up, the butterflies. It's like remembering all of the good things, but also reawakening something so that they can all remember how important all of the memories that we create with each other, working on a team, striving to be the best that you can be. It's going to be great. I told them all, watch your knees, buddies. Think about your ankles, your joints. Take care. But I think they're all going to have a great time. Beautiful thing. And the stands are just packed with people. Everybody is so excited. They are got their shakers. Everybody's in purple. They've been talking about it for weeks. It's really good. Lifting the spirits. Wonderful thing. I was wearing all three of these because I'm not going to ever forget these three guys, and it made a lot of noise, and I was clanking. So my husband took it to a jewelry store and said, "You can fix this." And they said, "Well, we don't know about that." And he said, "No, you can fix this." And I don't know, they took it, and I don't know how it was done with a laser, but this is going with me for the distance, because they went the distance.